Welcome to episode 14 of Talking Shirts. I'm Mike from Replica Shirt, and today I'm going to take a look at this 2011 home shirt. So the 2011 home shirt was made by Cougar, and it was the second year that we were sponsored by Sportingbet. 2011 home shirt. It's naturally a white shirt, and then it's got instead of having the usual red band coming across the front that we are accustomed to, it's actually got a red sash sort of going from the top right as wearing down to the bottom left. Now, a lot of fans, I don't really think they liked the design of having a shirt with a sash. I think the general feeling was that if you're going to have a white shirt, just put a red band on it, which I get, and they are very right. But I think in the modern day as we are now, especially with club commerciality being as big as it is, we do have to go with something a little bit different every now and again. If every shirt was a white shirt with a red band, some fans might think, you know what, I'm not going to buy that because it's very similar to last year's or very similar to whenever. So by going with something completely different, it does kind of give the fans something completely different to purchase. So from a commerciality point of view, I can understand that. So the main feature of this shirt is we've actually got a small placket, and then we've got like a grandad style collar on here. This differed from that of the plain shirt, which I will show you in a couple of moments. So this is just a club shop replica, this one. So there is a button at the top here, and there's a button inside the placket as well. Now, for me, I would much prefer the replica shirt to replicate the playing shirt that the players wear. Now, when I show you in a second a playing version of this shirt, you will see some of the main differences which tell you that this shirt is completely different to the playing shirt which the players wore for games. I think especially for younger fans, you want to look exactly the same as the players that are playing in that shirt. If you're buying a replica jersey, you want to be looking exactly the same as what they're looking. That there has to be that sort of comparison there. So the fact that this had a bit of a placket and a different style collar didn't really sit for me at the time, and it still doesn't now. I don't mind the shirt and the design itself, but I much prefer the look that you get from looking at the player spec shirt. So what I'll do is I'll just take this off here, and I'll reveal a player spec shirt underneath. So this is a player spec shirt from 2011. It's actually a match worn one actually. You'll notice now that the collar here is very different. So there's no grandad style collar, there's no placket. With the one with the placket on, it would be very easy for a player to grab that placket and use it as sort of like a grip mechanism whilst playing the game. Whereas with this doesn't have that, and obviously they are a much more tighter fit as well, so they are harder to get. So there's some reinforced stitching which comes all the way around here, around the neck, and then down the arms. I will pop some pictures up just to the side there, just so you can see a closer up look at that. On this shirt, the club crest is submillated into the fabric, opposed to it being an embroidered badge on the club shop replica. Submillation is something that they've used a lot of on the player spec shirt, because again, any sort of stitching art kind of gives another way to sort of grip. 2011 was before we actually introduced the grip patches on the front, so there isn't actually no grip patches on the front of this shirt. I'll spin it round to the side, and again, we've got some more submillation on the side, and this is with the Engage Super League patches. Now, because there was franchising in the Super League during 2011, we actually knew when the club was designing this shirt, the club knew that they were going to be in the Super League next year, regardless of league positioning. So that then meant that they were able to get that printed onto the shirt, opposed to it being applied with an applique later on, or with it being stitched on, like I think it was in 2010. So I'll just fling the shirt all the way around so you can see the back now. So this shirt was worn by Scott Murrell. Now, Scott Murrell came through the academy at Leeds, featured on loan at London for a little bit before signing for Rovers in 2006, whilst they were in National League One. I think if I was to stand here and give you my opinion on this guy, I would probably take up a good hour. He's such a he's a great lad. He's done a lot for me for Hull KR shirts. The shirt came direct from him. He did an interview with me called Getting Shirty, where we discussed the shirts that he'd worn in his career. So feel free to check that out on the website. It's a really good read. So yeah, this shirt will have been worn multiple times by Scott during 2011. I will put a picture up just so you can see, but there's a little bit of deterioration here where you can just faintly see underneath another R. So at some point, I think it's been that worn that the name's probably peeled off and then had to be reapplied just so that we could sort of like get through the season. As I've said in rugby, players only get sort of maybe 2 shirts a season, maybe 3. So if anything does happen, you know, if anything peels off, if anything rips, then we are really in sort of territory where we're having to sort of like repair and then, you know, and reprint shirts, you know. So I think that's what's happened here. You know, you can definitely see a shadow into the R there where it's been in a different place and then it's been reapplied. Scott, obviously, well, is it club for 7 years? 7 really good years. Probably in the heyday of our Super League time, really, you know, sort of from 2007 in the Super League, obviously promotion in 06, Super League in 07, all the way through when he left the club at the end of 2012, where he's now gone on to Halifax, where he's kind of created himself as this messiah at Halifax, a little bit like he's adorned himself to the Rovers fans. He's done the same at Halifax, and I think that tells you a lot about the person he is and a lot about the player he is as well. So yeah, that's been the 2011 home shirt. I hope you've enjoyed this video review again today of a different shirt. If you want to come back in 2 weeks' time, I'll be back with episode 15. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. Speak to you soon.